Over the last 3 months, I only wore 3 shirts. This one from Patagonia that I bought for $50, this one from Everlane that I bought for $30, and this one that I bought from Walmart for a whopping $6. In this video, we're gonna figure out whether or not they're worth the money that I bought them for. Hey team, welcome back to another Levi Save the World Hildebrand episode, the channel where we prove that you don't need to be a hero to save the planet. Today, I'm going to be comparing a Patagonia, Everlane, and George t-shirt to see if the price that you pay for a t-shirt actually impacts the quality of the product itself. This video is a part of a series where I do challenges and experiments to test out sustainability practices in real life. I boycotted Black Friday and Cyber Monday, I only ate Uber Eats for 2 entire weeks, and most recently I documented my experience living without a car in North America for an entire year. This video, like all of those other videos, is brought to you by my Patreon supporters. On Patreon, I post exclusive behind the scenes updates on these challenge videos and everything else that I'm working on. In addition to that, you get to see a secret podcast that I release every single month where I talk about sustainability stories in the news and my own personal journey here on this channel trying to reduce my environmental impact. So if you're interested in any of that or you just want to support this channel, head down to the description to check it out for yourself. But here in this video, we are going to be breaking down my experience only wearing 3 shirts for 90 days. Every single day for 90 days straight. So right off the top, I have to acknowledge that this is not a mathematical experiment in any sort of way. But I did take some measures to try and keep this as fair as possible. All of the shirts that I'm comparing are made of 100% cotton. They were all made outside of North America, and all of these shirts were worn and washed the exact same number of times. See, I even kept this tally on my phone. I wore them all in pretty similar conditions, from riding my bike around town, working out, to working all day sitting at a computer. I washed them in full loads of laundry and dried them in an open air drying rack upstairs. But one quick note about washing, probably a whole bunch of you just thought to yourselves, wait, 30 wears and 5 washes? That means Levi wore his shirt like 9 times without washing it. And I would say that you're wrong, because 30 divided by 5 is 6, but the point is, yeah, I don't wash my clothes very often because you really don't have to. In fact, I bought that pair of jeans right there 4 months ago and I still haven't washed them yet. Leah, you love this stuff way too much. The reality is, washing your clothes is one of the fastest ways to wear them out. These 3 t-shirts would have been in way worse condition if I was washing them with warm water and drying them in a drying machine. Rant summary, you probably don't need to be washing your clothes as often as you are. Save the planet, your wallet, and your clothes by just washing with cold water and air drying. But anyways, let's go see what happened. For the final evaluation of these shirts, I based it off of 3 very random criteria that I invented for the purpose of this video. Number 1 is fit. Does this shirt actually fit me the way that I wanted it to when I bought it in the first place? And does it look bad, generally? Number 2 is wear and tear. Does the fabric itself seem to have broken down at all? Is it pilling? Is it stretched out, etc.? And number 3 is cost. Does it seem to be worth the money that I spent on the shirt after 30 days of using it? Well, let's start with the most expensive. So full disclosure, for the sake of this video, I love Patagonia. I think that they're an incredible company. I made a whole video about them and what they do in a video a couple years back when I looked like I actually worked for them. I'm probably not going to grow my hair out again if that's a worry for some people, so don't unsubscribe just based on that alone. The fit of this shirt has honestly been one of my favorites of the 3 to begin with. I know that this is very different and very subjective because every shirt fits every person differently, but this cut just seems to really work for my body type. Wear and tear. This shirt has held up extremely well. Once you get a really nice close-up on the fabric itself, you can see that it has been used, but the material has retained its shape and retained its fabric integrity really, really well. For the most part, this shirt looks pretty well the same as when I got it 30 wears ago. Now, in terms of cost, for me, The Patagonia was a very expensive shirt. $50 for a t-shirt that's just cotton in today's world seems crazy because that's often 10 times the price of what you can get a similar looking gray t-shirt for, but this has held up extremely well for that dollar value. Part of the reason why this shirt is so expensive is because Patagonia is a leader in socially and environmentally responsible fashion, but we're gonna get into that later in the video. Let's move on to Everlane. Now, full disclosure, I made a video debunking Everlane's claims to be radically transparent, but they are a higher end brand and therefore they should, in theory, have a higher quality product. Fit and feel. Honestly, I love the fit of this shirt as well. It's been always quite nice and tight and slimming. The only thing that's slightly different from the Patagonia is the fact that it feels like a lighter shirt. The material seems to be, I don't know how else to put it, but lighter. It feels like there's less shirt on me right now. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, but it does feel slightly cheaper. Wear and tear. Because it does feel like a slightly lighter material, it does have a bit more wear and tear to it. You can see some of the fabric coming away at some of the seams, but really not that much considering that I've worn it 30 different times. Number 3, cost. Now for 30 bucks, I would say that this is a good value shirt. It looks good after 30 different wears, and it costs less than the Patagonia. It doesn't feel like quite the same quality of a shirt, but overall, I think it's of good value. Now speaking of value, let's see what we get out of a $6 shirt. How is it even possible to design, produce, manufacture, and distribute a shirt for $6? It honestly baffles me, but the outcome is pretty predictable. Fit and feel. This shirt never fit me as well as the first 2 shirts did, but you can obviously see that it's just a baggier shirt. Maybe this is to appeal to more people, but it's clear that over time the shirt has just lost some of its shape. Now this shirt isn't ripped or destroyed in any way or dirty, but I am not very excited to wear this shirt because of the condition that it's in after only 30 wears. And honestly, this shirt was starting to look used after about 20 wears or so. Wear and tear. Even without looking too closely, you can tell that this shirt is old. It's been worn, and you can obviously see that. All over the shirt, even without looking too closely, you can see that there's pilling happening throughout the shirt, not just on high rubbing areas. There also seems to be some weird discoloration going on around the collar. Number 3, cost. Now for $6, it's hard to say whether or not it's worth it because it costs less than a burger at McDonald's. I mean, I guess with that in consideration, the fact that it lasted even half as long as the others is impressive. But like I said at the beginning, how does a shirt like this even exist for $6? Farmers had to grow crops, materials had to be processed, designs had to be created, final products shipped, delivered, marketed, and then sold to you for $6. Now this is really where price starts to come into play, because these shirts not only reflect the quality of the products themselves, but the values that the companies that made them try to uphold. Except for like Dolce & Gabbana and Supreme and all that other crap. You're literally just paying for the brand name in those cases. So I realized while I was editing this video that you can't really tell the differences between these shirts super well, so I thought I would add in another test to illustrate the differences between these shirts that no one could possibly deny. A blindfold taste test. Well, no, not a taste, like a feel test. You're gonna get blindfolded now.
Okay, I'll use my scrunchie.
Okay, go upstairs. Good. There's the stairs. Wow, you're really good at walking blindfolded. Holy smokes. God, I wish there was a cooler surprise. Here's the first one.
Okay.
Second one.
Okay.
Third one.
Okay.
Here's the stretch test.
I mean, it's got some give. The bottom doesn't feel very nice though. This feels kind of pilly. It doesn't have as much give. Still stretchy. That feels nice. This one has more stretch than the last one, but I don't know if it has as much stretch. This one's the most stretchy. This is the George one. This is Everlane. This is Patagonia.
No, how did you do that?
They feel different. This one feels kind of pilly and a bit rough.
Okay.
This one almost feels a bit like creamier. That's kind of like butter. People will know what I mean. And this one's like an in-between. I got it right though?
Yeah, that was pretty good. That was awesome. I found that super interesting because without being able to see what she was touching, Leah somehow managed to pick them all right. I mean, I'm not staging this. I definitely could have, but it didn't. No. Somehow she picked exactly the right ones based on
their quality.
Yeah.
You can feel it though. You really can. And it does. It feels kind of like butter. Can I wear it?
Yeah, sure, if you want.
All right, it's mine now. Bye.
So what's the difference between a $50, a $30, and a $6 t-shirt? The companies that created them. I chose these three companies very specifically for this challenge because they represent the spread of fashion options available to most consumers. We have Patagonia, which is a known social and environmental advocate. Everlane, which has marketed themselves as an environmentally responsible company, but they're not. And George, that basically couldn't give a f about the state of the earth. Now, I've got to be really honest, I was super nervous about this challenge because I was mortified that my $50 Patagonia t-shirt was going to be basically the same as a $6 equivalent. But fortunately, that's not the case. Now, as you know, I'm probably biased. I think that Patagonia is an outstanding company because there are very few companies of its size in the fashion industry that have done as much as they have for the sake of people and the planet. But right now we're gonna talk about this shirt specifically. It is the only one out of the three that uses fair trade sewing practices. That means that the people who made this shirt likely made a fair wage for the country that they live in. They're also the only one that makes all of their t-shirts out of organic cotton, a material that is far better for the planet. But this shirt is also a Patagonia t-shirt and I bought it 3 years ago and it's still in pretty awesome condition. Everlane actually makes a pretty good t-shirt, which I was resentfully happy to see. Unfortunately, their claims of radical transparency greatly mislead a lot of people into thinking that they're more sustainable than they are. Instead of third-party certification through fair trade sewing, they simply link you to the place where your garment was made. But unfortunately, none of this can be confirmed because unlike Patagonia, they are not a registered B corporation. But this is not a takedown video about Everlane. I already made that video. But all in all, I would say that you're paying in part for a slightly higher quality product, but also for the idea that you're supporting an ethical clothing company. I really wanted to like Everlane. And finally, George, the crown jewel of the fast fashion industry. Imagine all of the horror stories that you've heard about fast fashion, and that's this puppy right here. Unfortunately, this has become normal. Unfortunately, we kind of proved that you get what you pay for. A $6 shirt doesn't last very long. So obviously, I would love for us all to just buy those really expensive Patagonia shirts because they are the ones that are making a fashion model that works for us and the planet. But I understand that not everybody can spring for a $50 t-shirt. Personally, I own a number of Patagonia shirts, but I bought them over a period of time. I purchased them when I had the means to and when I could find them on sale. The beauty of Patagonia and higher quality brands is that if you can find them used, they're probably still going to be in very good condition for exactly the reasons that we just outlined here today. But the best option is always to find secondhand clothing if you can and support the environmentally focused companies that are out there if that isn't available. But I want to thank you for watching this video and I want to hear your feedback. I'm going to be making more videos where I do experiments and challenges to test different environmental practices. And so if you have any suggestions, please leave them down in the comments below. And of course, if you want to support this channel, please consider joining us over on Patreon. These videos take an incredibly long time to do and they're not exactly advertiser friendly. So having that community of people that supports what I do here makes an incredible difference. But regardless of that, I want to thank you for watching this video. And if you are subscribed to this channel, which you very much should be, then we will see you in the next one. Stay safe out there and wash your hands.